I know I just keep talking about this app, Fable. And I just talked about this in a video talking about like the best apps that I found for book lovers. So the first one I want to mention is called Fable. Hello and welcome back to my channel. So as you could tell from that intro, we've got some stuff to talk about today. Elephant in the room, which is very stupid and I don't even know why I'm mentioning this, but I don't normally wear a hat inside, but I have like been wearing a hat going out all day. So I felt like the hat hair was too much. Anyways, nobody cares. So as you can tell, there's a little discourse right now around the app Fable, which I've pretty much been championing since I started using it. Just back in October or so, I started using it pretty much exclusively starting around November, and now starting the new year fresh, it is the only thing I'm using to track my books outside of a spreadsheet. So you could say that I'm a big fan. I also love their book club option. That's where I am hosting my book club. So, you know, you can say that I am a pretty big fan of the app itself. So in the last few days, there has been some stuff come out that I wanted to discuss. So Fable is really cool, and one of the things that I like the most about it is how much information and like statistics it gives back to the reader. So, you know, it categorizes by genre, by authors, like how many books you've read per genre, all kinds of stuff, like what your ratings are. And I've definitely talked about this here on my channel before. So like most apps kind of started doing, they do like a yearly wrap up where they would just, you know, give you like a summary kind of on what your reading was like. And I thought it was fun, but I didn't have the problem that I'm about to talk about. So I will put here what mine said, super harmless, little fun, and pretty accurate to me. I personally think that it's pretty obvious that it was written by AI, but I understand that that's not the case for everyone, so I'm certainly not excusing or pardoning Fable for that. Now, while mine was harmless, a couple people have come forward to say like, this is mine, what the hell? So for example, a Threads user named Tiana's Lit Talk posted hers, and it said, "Soulful Explorer, your journey dives deep into the heart of Black narratives and transformative tales, leaving mainstream stories gasping for air. Don't forget to surface for the occasional white author, okay?" Now, that is very, like, not, cringy's not even a strong enough word. That is so disturbing and should never have been written or put out on this app. Another one that was posted, I don't know whose this belongs to because I just found it on Threads, but it says, "Diversity Devotee. Your bookshelf is a vibrant kaleidoscope of voices and experiences, making me wonder if you're ever in the mood for a straight cis white man's perspective." Okay, side note, if I read that on mine, I would think it was like tongue-in-cheek, like satire-y, like I would think it was funny because clearly that's not a thing, but it's AI, so I don't think AI has a sense of humor, so. Another girl had hers posted that said, "Romantic daredevil, your squad of daring rom-coms has now set the bar for my cringe meter. Yet your fearless love-seeking sends sparks flying." Now that obviously is not in the same territory at all as the other two. It's just a little like critical, I guess, or, you know, just like judgmental about this person reading romance, and if you know, are sensitive about it, I can see being upset about it. So yes, Fable released these AI, and it did not go over well. People were very upset, as they should be. Now, people are basically saying that they are boycotting this app and they don't ever want to use it, like they're going to use Storygraphs, and are really like leading this like crusade against this app. And I will now show you Fable's response. Before that, though, it should be noted that every person that posted a little screenshot of their reading summary, whatever, got like a person, if they tagged Fable, like they responded. And to me, that goes a long way. But first, I'm going to show you exactly what the head of Fable replied.
Hey everyone, my name is Chris. I'm head of product at Fable, and I wanted to touch on a disturbing issue that came up in our community this past week. Our mission statement at Fable is stories for everyone, just bringing the joy and the discussion of stories to everyone, and giving everyone kind of a safe space to feel like they belong and can discuss these stories is really important to us. But if we're not doing that for everyone, then like, what are we doing? And this past week, we fell short on that. We got a couple reports from users about our reader summary feature on the profile using very bigoted, racist language. And that was shocking to us because it's one of our most beloved features. Like, so many people in our community love this feature. And to know that that feature has generated negative language is, it's a sad situation, I'd say. So first of all, I just want to say that we are deeply sorry for the harm that we've caused in the community, for what has been generated, and for putting out a feature that can do something like that. So as part of this, I want to be very transparent with how the reader summary feature works so that you can get a sense of like an understanding of why this might have happened. And then I also then want to talk about some of the changes that we're making starting today. So the reader summary feature, the goal of this feature is to actually celebrate everyone's uniqueness. We wanted it to be a playful, fun way to share out who you are as a reader based on the books that you've been reading. And the way we do that is using an AI model where we feed in the books that you've most recently finished. And all we're passing in is just the summaries of those books. We're not passing in any of your user data or any like identifiable information or usage data. We're not passing in any data about the actual book. We're not passing in the text of the book, the manuscript. We're really just passing in the publisher summaries that the publishers give us. And that model then is responsible for creating a fun sentence or two about who you are as a reader. And because it's a new technology, we started with some safeguards. We created some safeguards where it's like we ask the model to avoid some topics, and we also created a second pass, like offensive language filter. But clearly in both cases that failed this time around. So I think as a company, we kind of underestimated how much work needs to be done to make sure that these AI models are doing this in a responsible, safe way. And so I want to talk about the steps that we're taking next. So the first step that we're taking is, first of all, we don't want the fact that this reader summary is AI. We don't want that to be a surprise or deceptive. And so we're adding in a disclosure into that feature to indicate that this is AI generated. The second thing that we're doing is that if you want to, you will also now be able to opt out of that feature. So you will be able to not show a reader summary on your profile. You'll still get all the fun stats that we have on the profile. We'll hide the reader summary. Third thing that we're doing is we've actually already updated our model with even more safeguards, and we've also removed some of the playfulness of the model. We think that some of that playfulness actually could have caused some of the language, and so we're just killing that, removing that. So that's the next step. That is actually, I think, already live. The fourth thing that we're doing is we're adding in a thumbs up and thumbs down button. So if you see a reader summary that you don't like, you can hit the thumbs down button. That then sends us a Slack message, and we can then use that to basically train our model better and be aware of instances like this. The last thing that we're doing, which is going to take a little bit more time, I think all of those things are within the next day or two. A little bit more time will be, we are going to continue to work on more safeguards. We're having lots of conversations internally about what other safeguards we might be missing to make sure that this doesn't happen. And so we will be kind of working on that. I think over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have more conversations internally about all of this stuff. If you made it this far in the video, thank you very much for listening. We'd love to hear any feedback, but I think coming from a team of these book lovers and artists and authors and just who we are as a team, this is not what we want, and it shows that we have not done enough. And so we will be working on this. We will be putting attention towards this. I know we've probably shaken some trust in the community, and so we really do hope to earn that back. Thank you all. Feel free to comment below. We're open to all of your input. Appreciate it.
Okay, so I personally think that this is a great response. There's still a lot of people that are unhappy with this, and I understand being hurt by what happened. And again, everything I say is from the perspective of a straight, cis, white woman. So, I mean, I'm always open to hearing people's perspectives that come from a different background than I do. But something that's very important to me is giving people the chance to correct their mistakes. And I feel like he and like his team at Fable have done a really good job of that. They're so open to hearing suggestions. He took full accountability for what happened and is explaining what they're doing to fix it. And I personally feel like completely writing off something, if you don't want to use the app based on that, by all means. But if you were interested in this app and you like it, and so you're like on the edge of trying to like decide whether or not you want to use this app, it goes a long way to me correcting your actions. And obviously, in an ideal world, no one would need to correct their actions because everyone would be perfect from the get-go. But when I am like looking at a review of anything, a restaurant, a hair salon, whatever, and I see a less than stellar review, I immediately always will look at if there's a response from the owner and how they reacted to this negative feedback. And to me, I'm so much more likely to go to a business that has a responsive owner or manager, somebody is, paying attention to this stuff and cares whether or not you like or you're happy with your results or your meal or whatever it is, then I am to go to a place that has just 5 stars across the board, someplace that's never actually, because it feels false to me. I think it's so important that we give people and I guess businesses the chance to redeem themselves. And this isn't like a huge company, This is not TikTok, this is not Instagram, this is a small business that have created this app and are working on this app. So like the fact that they were able to respond so quickly and they made these changes so quickly, to me, speaks volumes as to how much they care about their community. I am trying very hard not to use the word cancel because I just don't believe in cancel culture and all of that. But I think it's really easy to jump to the worst of people. And I feel like that's because we've been conditioned by people being the worst. So it's not everyone's fault completely, We are so used to people being terrible that we have no patience for even a glimpse of being terrible. And we're like, ugh, writing it off. But I just don't think that should be the case always. And yes, I'm a huge fan of this app and what it does and how it functions. But I also think that even if I wasn't, I would feel like I wanted to speak up in defense of this app. Now, he stated like an action plan. And I would like to actually show you another video he posted the next day talking more about an action plan.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to share a quick update to my last video yesterday since we've been working late on this. So first and foremost, having a feature that does any sort of harm in the community is unacceptable. And we've heard feedback from enough members of our community that we're making the following changes immediately. First, we're removing the reader summary from the stats feature. Second, we're removing Shelfie. And third, we're removing the 2024 reading wrap. Those are all features that make use of AI. You'll see those changes in the app over the weekend. We're basically submitting a new version of the app to the App Store today. Second, we actually heard a lot of really great ideas for how we can improve those features. So for example, what if we had badges in the profile where we're using our in-house artists to create those badges and maybe even artwork from the community? A lot of fun ideas. So thank you to all of you who've been sharing those types of ideas. So along those lines, we wanted to create a space for us to be able to listen and discuss those types of things. So on January 6th at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing a Fable town hall over Zoom. So if you're a Fable user, check the top of your For You feed. You'll see a link to sign up for that. We'd love to have you there because we want to use this as an opportunity to learn and grow. Thank you all, and see you Monday.
So I feel like a lot of times when a business messes up, when they don't commit or follow through, I guess, on promises to do better, that's when people get really upset. And as they should. I totally agree. But I think that Fable has shown us that they're not just putting the plan in place, but they're actually executing that plan. To me, it goes a long way, and it shows so much that they're not all talk. I think the bigger thing we should be talking about here is the use of AI in any app. I mean, it seems to me like Fable is doing all the right things, and I am going to continue using it. And if you don't, that is fully your choice. This is how I'm viewing the situation, is they screw it up, they owned it, it was harmful, and they are taking accountability, which I feel so strongly that is important, to give people the time and space to correct what they did wrong. So I just want to show one last video, because this girl basically summed up everything that I was feeling, but she did it better than I did.
I will still be using Fable in 2025, and here's why. I will say, though, for AI to be so heavily used, I just feel like we as a society are not responsible enough with it and do not really fully understand the ramifications of using AI. And almost always it does more harm than good, and it's not necessary. So I will say that. However, I am a fan of looking at all the facts and waiting for responses and just gathering all information before I make a decision to just off-rip cancel someone or cancel a brand. And I really do like Fable's response. I think that they took full accountability for the fact that their intentions did not match their actions, and their actions actually caused offense and harm. From what I've seen on Fable, it does have a lot of cool features that I just do not see on any other reading apps that I'm very interested in. Like I said, I still use Storygraph, but I was very interested in starting Fable. And I feel like they are taking the appropriate steps to make sure that this does not happen again. Although I do wish they would just stop using AI. But I know that's a heavily prevalent part of the app, so I get that's kind of unrealistic. I just wish that they'd be a little bit more responsible with it. And from what I saw in his response, that seems to be the goal. So yeah, I don't think that we always need to automatically jump to canceling someone. I know it's a hot topic right now, but I just thought that I would share my opinion on someone who's new to the app. And like I said, I just like to give chances before I outright cancel someone. I think that it is important to give people grace and, allow room for growth.
So yeah, she was pretty succinct with what I've just spent a 20-minute video talking about. But I think a really important thing that she mentioned was their intentions did not match their actions. And intention really, yes, it matters, but no, it doesn't. Because what matters is how the person on the receiving end feels about it. And I think that they have done a good job taking accountability for the fact that despite good intentions, despite nothing nefarious going on, they hurt people. And I just appreciate them owning up to that and really making it clear that they are going to fix this and they are going to make sure that it doesn't happen to anyone else. So I want to know what you think. Do I have a bad take? Am I off base? What do you think? Again, I was not affected by this personally, so I, take my opinion with a grain of salt. But as someone who has been very excited about and been promoting this app to you guys quite a bit, I felt that I really should talk about this and what's been going on. I felt like as someone that's been really encouraging you to download it, I owed it to you guys to let you know what I thought in this situation. And I hope that I made sense. I hope that you understand my point of view. And whether or not you do, I want to know what you think of this whole situation. And of course, the use of AI in the reading community. I'm not a big fan. If Fable got rid of it completely, that would be totally fine with me. But I feel like AI is almost inevitable at this point. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!